What up, YouTube? We back with another video. Today we're reacting to an Oshay Duke Jackson video. Anton and Micca didn't want us to find this out. What did they not want us to find out? Last week, Micca went on a few interviews doing podcasts with the Talk Perspective podcast. She did an interview with Tasha K, addressing a lot of the side chick rumors that she has going on with Anton Daniels ever since the whole Corey Holcomb 5150 situation, where she accompanied Anton as a business trip in order to promote her own podcast. So let's get right into the video and get some of the details.
Micca's situation is getting worse. It's not because of the interview she did with Tasha K or on Talk Perspective. It's actually some of the investigative journalism that people are doing, especially our brother House of Hypocrites. Give him a round of applause. He made a video called Micca's in Anton's room at 3 a.m. that I just want to cover today because I haven't really thought about a lot of this stuff. Now, Micca was on Talk Perspective, an interview she did in DC, and when she was asked this question, the room went crazy.
Here's another very challenging question, but I have to ask you. I just have to ask you. Have you and Anton ever had sex?
No. No.
Any?
Hold on. No.
So Micca is testifying here that she has never, as a married woman, had sex with Anton Daniels.
Who's training the new guy? No-show? What do you mean he didn't show up?
Managing with connecting would be a whole lot easier.
Hey y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe so I don't have to keep skipping these ads for you guys. You feel me? Once I reach a certain subscriber goal, not this one, but once we hit, let's say 5K, I'm gonna go ahead and get the YouTube premium. No more skipping ads. Come on, we're not trying to skip these ads. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
But let's look at what could have happened that night, because right after the Corey Holcomb incident, she ended up in the same hotel as Anton Daniels. Now, if this is a professional relationship, we might stay at the same hotel, but we shouldn't be in the same hotel room, because it can look like, well, we are doing something other than just streaming. But this is not what happens.
Hey, look like you. What is your hair doing? Because you look like you just. What's up, girl?
Y'all did this nice.
That's right. You see Micca looking drunk, appearing in the name of Anton Daniels, which
means they are in the same room. Now, the 5150 show, they are on the West Coast, and I believe it comes on at midnight, if I'm not mistaken. The West Coast is 4 hours behind us, behind the East Coast. So if they premiere at midnight Eastern time, it would be 8 o'clock on the East Coast. So that means, and the interview was probably about an hour or two, maybe. I can't really recall. So that means on the West Coast, it would have been around close to 10 o'clock maybe when this here panel had came on. I don't really know what times Anton's panels start, but I'm assuming it would have been 10 o'clock where they are, and they are alone together in a hotel room, obviously, because you see here Anton Daniels' name, which isn't normal for Micca. That's not Micca's name. So they have to be in the same room together, and this is a so-called married woman. We've never seen her husband on her social media or anything like that, but she does claim to be married. So let's see what she had to say for herself.
They were in the same room. He left, or he was somewhere else, and she came in and was talking for him. Now, this is interesting for a lady that's married, because if she's doing that, she wants everybody to know that, yes, I'm in Los Angeles, and yes, I'm with Anton Daniels. But then the House of Hypocrites makes this point.
What saying House of Hypocrites? She know that the perception of her being in Anton Daniels' room at 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning is not gonna look right.
2, 3 a.m. I don't know if he overselling it, or I don't know where he's located, if he's on the East Coast or what. And I mean, like, the time difference, a lot of times that slips people's minds. So I don't know, but 2, 3 in the morning, drunk at that, is crazy. My wife, I don't even have a wife, but if I did have a wife, nah. That's cause for divorce right there. That alone, like, I don't need to see nothing else. I don't need to know nothing else. That's enough right there. Like,
because she's somebody's wife and he's somebody's husband. So when she got a chance to actually kind of articulate herself, knowing
my boy got them 2K grills in, ain't it? The 2K26 grills, ain't it?
that drunk, knowing that her hair all fucked up, she did not arrive to Corey Holcomb's studio like that. So she got to this confession league because it looked wrong, because it is wrong, and that guilt made her try to get in front of this narrative when somebody asks why she's in Anton Daniels' room. This wasn't a big deal.
Woo! This is a very strong point. Everybody is focused on, at the time, what just happened with Corey Holcomb, who was backing down, or who was wrong or who was right. And nobody really looked at it as he saw it. And this is why his video is probably one of the best I've seen on all the videos.
That is a fact. During the entire fallout, or the entire back and forth and commotion with Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels, after the entire 5150 interview, this was about a month ago at this point. But as you can see, the House of Hypocrites has brought a new perspective, or an overlooked perspective, that people didn't necessarily pay much attention to because of all the drama between the two men. Although the side chick allegations were prevalent from the beginning, people are now doing extensive deep dives and more research and putting more pieces together that they may have not paid attention to initially, in order to come up with a timeline that makes sense. So this is interesting, because a lot of this stuff I didn't really see either. I seen the 5150 interview with them where Corey bammed out on him, and I knew that, I believe I seen like the panel that Anton did immediately after, but I don't remember Micca being in the same room as him or any of that. I really wasn't paying attention, but this is wild. I'm not gonna lie.
Better than the ones I've been doing, so you should go check it out. She tried to basically, do revisionist history, like, oh, I'm in Anton's room, or I just got here. When the reality is, if you watch his video, she was in the room the entire time. He was talking to her off grid. He was whispering to her. She was always there, which at least leads me to believe that they didn't have separate rooms. They were staying in the same room.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Y'all already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, so I don't have to keep skipping these ads for you guys. And hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video.
Woo! It could have happened. The only people that know is her and Anton Daniels is probably not going to bust her out. But hey, this is also another point that is made.
Because you just said on Talk Perspective, Your obligation days to live on Room 9 is Thursdays and Fridays. This is Tuesday.
And for me, I'm only on Thursdays and Fridays.
Okay.
Why the you ain't hop? You feel me? Hop back on a flight, go your ass home.
Now, Anton Daniels has another channel called Room.
Another good point. Why would you once you found out, because Anton told her that she was going to be on the 5150 show with him doing the interview for her to promote her podcast. He never received confirmation from the 5150 show that that was okay or that she could even be on the podcast or any of that. So he invited you to LA to participate in a interview or show, whatever you want to call it, with him on the 5150 night show. And you get there before Anton, hours before Anton, and find out that you're actually not going to be on the show. Okay. You stayed for the show, watched the show from the sideline, seen the whole fallout and everything like that. Okay. At this point, it's late as hell at night. Why did you not make your way back home to your husband? Why did you not make arrangements in order to make your way home after you found out that you actually weren't being on the show and that you were lied to by Anton? Why, after finding out that this man lied to you, you didn't get a chance to go on the show and promote your podcast? Will you go back to this man's hotel room with him late at night and get drunk? All of these things do not make any sense for a so-called married woman to do. Now, she doesn't post her husband on social media or anything like that. I've never heard her talk about him. On all these panels that I've ever watched of Anton Daniels with her participating, I've never even heard her talk about her husband. I'd never known that she was married until the Talk Perspectives podcast. But all of these things don't seem to be normal behavior for a married woman. But let's get back to the video.
Room 9. It used to be the Fight Club channel. And she said that her days were Thursdays and Fridays, right? So if her days are Thursdays and Fridays and Corey Holcomb's show is on a Tuesday and you come on Room 9 on a Tuesday, why did you show up on Anton's stream drunk with your hair frizzy? Well, my only estimation is you wanted everybody to know that Anton Daniels was your guy or your man and you had access to him and you are the only person that can show up with him, whenever you feel like showing. It was more of a territorial move, because if it's not your time to be on there, why are you on there? Or you're just trying to clout chase or trying to do both. Woo! But the horror story hasn't started yet, family. It hasn't really started yet. Why hasn't the horror started yet? Because now we need to see if there is any kind of responsibility that Anton Daniels is taking over her, if she is in any way submissive to her, and if she is okay with him talking like that in front of her. Because if she is, it definitely means that this is his woman. What happens?
Let me say this also.
Sir?
Let me say this also. Micca stayed in pocket. She followed my lead. She ain't do none of that. She ain't trip. She just said, yo, I'm rolling with you, and that's the end of the conversation. She ain't say one word. She just kept it moving. That's how women are supposed to move. They're not supposed to do all of the extra shit and all of that. You follow the lead of the person you're with.
Damn.
Now, guys, this language is interesting because he uses the language or the phrase stay in pocket. Now, I had a buddy on YouTube here, and I never had heard the language before, but I heard it from him. His name was Sinful the P. And I've only heard this language as I got to know him and everybody else, that the stay in pocket term is what a pimp tells a hoe to do to stay in pocket. I never hear regular simps like myself, regular dudes like myself tell somebody to stay in pocket. You staying in pocket typically means if other pimps are trying to knock you or, trying to take you, then you stay in your lane, you do what you're supposed to do. That's kind of how I see the phrase being used. But I never hear normal dudes who are not in the pimp game use the phrase stay in pocket. At least I haven't heard it. Okay. And I've heard the phrase, when I started understanding pimp culture a little bit. Like I said, I'm a square. I don't really know many pimps, but I heard that phrase. And she followed the lead. He basically is taking authority or control over her as if that is his woman. Any man that can talk to a woman like that in front of her face and that woman doesn't say anything, that means that woman respects that man. And if that woman, at least at the time, and if that woman respects that man at the time, want to know what else is going on? That man can do almost whatever he wants with that woman. And I could be wrong, but after 44 years of living and being on earth, I have never been able to talk about a lady like that in front of her. And I don't never use the term stay in pocket, but hey, listen, you being submissive to me, I told you to do this, you should do that. And if a woman agrees to do that, a woman is not going to agree to do that for a man that she is not sexually interested in or a man that she is not thinking about giving it up to. Any woman who allows a man to have that much authority over her or to guide her and she can listen to that man 100% of the time, that man has the ability to have sex with her if he wants to. If he wants to do it, he can. And for the fact that she feels extremely comfortable around the man. You've been to Detroit, you know his wife, okay? Now you are married, but I don't know what arrangement you have, but you feel comfortable for him to fly you out there. You feel comfortable for, you to be drunk with him. You feel comfortable to let everybody else know that you're there with him. Well, why wouldn't you do that? You would only do that if everything else must be true. The stars must line up. And those are cheek clapping stars. Normally, almost 99.99% of the time. You're drunk, you're inebriated, you're in a different place. I mean, you're claiming territory, you're showing up on his stream, you're in the same room, you've been to Detroit, you've been to basketball games, and his wife is not there. You might as well do everything else anyway. And then here is the damaging part.
He tried the dirty Mac and tried to, you know what I'm saying? I'm married, I got shit going on. Luckily for me, I do what I want to do and I don't worry about that because I got control over my situation. But what if my chick wasn't familiar with the fact that I got a chick out here with me? That I got a chick out here with me? That I got a chick out here with me?
And that's the thing, bro. On the Talk Perspectives podcast that Micca had her interview on last week, he asked her several questions in regards to her relationship with Anton. Now, the way Anton speaks on these panels, can be very flirtatious in terms of how he speaks with the women that he has on these panels. But Micca in particular, I notice it's a little more extensive than with the other women on the panels. Like he might compliment the other women. He might, it's usually just like small compliments. But when it comes to Micca, it's a little deeper, if you know what I mean. Like the innuendos and subtle remarks and eye contact and talking with your eyes, if you will, it just seems to come off a little deeper to me, like as if these side chick allegations could be true given all the information that we've gone over so far. That's just what I believe.
So here is Anton saying it himself.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Y'all already know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so I don't have to keep skipping these ads for you guys. And hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. And also hit that hype button so I can get into the algorithm. You know what I mean?
That, look, his wife knows. This is the Christian saying this, right? Mr. Christian Anton. His wife knows what he's doing. He knows how he gets down.
Also, I would like to note that there is one bed in that background. I don't know if it's a pull-out couch in the living room or what's going on. There is one bed in this hotel room. FYI.
He has a setup where he can do whatever he wants. Micca is also aware that Anton Daniels has this arrangement. He talks about it with her on the stream before. So you mean to tell me he's gonna fly somebody out to come to Corey Holcomb's show? And again, I've heard certain things about the Lapeef Network and Anton Daniels and allegedly, sleeping with some of the ladies they've been dealing with. I don't have a lot of proof on that. I'm gonna stay out of that, but I've heard rumors that these guys have done stuff like that in the past. It's been a big time rumor on YouTube. It's not something that's not new, that both of these guys are kind of known for that. Again, I don't really know. I'm not there. But what I can say is that he has said it out of his mouth. Look, if I want to deal with a lady, she got to be available to me. And Micca is attractive. There is no reason why you wouldn't want to try that if you can. You're letting the whole world believe that you're hitting it. And maybe that's the issue. Maybe he was, and the problem is he was making her look like a side chick altogether instead of just keeping it on the low. But Anton just can't hold no water, so that messed up. But he's saying it that I can do what I want. Micca already knows that Anton can do what he wants. She's drunk around a man who talks like this. She's in the same bedroom or hotel room at 3 a.m. and it looks like this behavior is contrary to what she's saying on the show with the other brother, right? It just looks like that. It just looks suspicious. It looks like it deviates from that. But the reality is she is married. She is a conservative. She cannot have this scandal come out that she actually is sleeping with Anton, or she did sleep with Anton, because really it's career ending before it starts. All right. You've never seen her husband. No one knows who the husband is except for the guy Orlando. She never introduced her husband to Anton Daniels.
Oh, so maybe she does have a husband. Okay. Because the guy Orlando is the guy from Talk Perspective podcast who did the interview with her. So I seen majority of that interview, but I didn't see that he did say that he knows him. So maybe she does have a husband. Well, she does have a husband. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. And Anton does have a wife, but obviously Anton does what he wants, as he said. So from Micca's perspective, you might as well say Anton is single because he could do whatever he wants. In this scenario, she's the one who's in a relationship, but she doesn't post her husband at all. Nobody sees or knows anything about her relationship. For whatever reason, they have to have that arrangement. But there's no way I'm gonna let my wife go out of town on a business trip or whatever trip with any man, solo together, and stay in a hotel together. You can't even go on a trip, honestly. If you even ask me, this is why you don't pursue women who want to be famous or in the limelight, because the things that women have to do to achieve certain things in entertainment and to be famous and be seen often doesn't include skill or merit, things of that nature. You got to be like top tier talent as a woman in the entertainment business. But a lot of these women are gonna get in line and get on that couch, if you know what I mean. Because a lot of these women are desperate to achieve a dream, and oftentimes the only way that they see a path to doing that in a certain matter of time and to get it achieved is to get on that couch, if you know what I'm saying. But let's get back to the video.
It is absolutely insane. And again, it just looks even worse. And if the House of Hypocrites didn't do this video, I wouldn't have known that it was this bad. But in fact, it is bad. And when you have receipts on the internet like this, and you put all of these things into a situation, it makes it that much less likely that Micca is honestly telling the truth. I'm not saying that she's a bad person. I'm not saying that she's evil. I'm not saying that she's not good-hearted. What I'm saying is it makes it that much harder to believe that what she's saying is the truth, because no married woman should be in any situations like this with another married man or a man that's not her husband. And Anton Daniels is playing a dangerous game because he could also get hurt.
Brian is the best content marketing team
Could
I've
get
ever
hurt.
worked with. But before he created his content calendar,
He has a point. Anton could get hurt because you don't know this man. He's never met her husband. She did say that in the Talk Perspectives podcast. Anton has never met her husband. They have never met. She has met his wife, but again, Anton can do whatever he wants, as he says. Anton can have another chick out there with him on a trip in the hotel room together, alone, drunk, as he said. He can do that. Micca knows he could do that, and he's never met her wife, so there's no type of mutual bond or respect or anything like that. He's never met the man. He's never shook his hand or anything like that. They have no sort of connection at all. So Anton doesn't have to feel any remorse or anything like that for what he's doing if they do have like a side chick arrangement. The only person who would maybe feel away is Micca, but she obviously is sticking to her guns and denying all of the allegations that come her way. But this thing is just a big mess, honestly. Anton could do what she wants, but she can't do what she wants. She's married, but Anton is her boss. There is a what would they call it? Conflict of interest? Fraternizing? What would you call it when the superior messes with the worker? When the supervisor messes with the worker, there's that type of situation going on. She probably feels as if this is going to get her some type of extra perks or benefits. Maybe he's giving her a little extra bonus pay on the side, if you know what I'm talking about. But I don't know. Maybe her husband's cool with this. I don't know. But this is a lot of weird stuff going on.
Because if it was the right husband and that was crazy enough, and you're doing this with a woman, yes, you could put yourself into a lot of danger, because you as a married man shouldn't be doing this knowing that she's married, knowing that you don't know her husband, you don't know what the husband is capable of. So where's his discretion? Like, look, I'm married and you're married. Now listen, my wife is maybe okay with having you here, but maybe your husband, who I've never met, I've never talked to, is not comfortable with this. And you know what? He knows what I look like, but I don't know what he looks like. And so therefore, he may have a problem with this, and I may have some level of retribution for this. And so I don't want to have any level of retribution for this. So because I don't want to do that, let's not do this because it makes us look bad. This is not what you want for your brand. And again, it just goes to show you that Anton Daniels really didn't care about her as a content creator because he was allegedly managing her. Then why would you distort her brand image being tied to you as only your side chick?
Now, This goes back to another video that I did last week in regards to Anton Daniels' Patreon and him so-called putting people on in the YouTube game and helping them with their YouTube and their business and all that. I was basically saying that we don't know of anybody in the Bag Chasers. Nobody in the Bag Chasers is big YouTube personalities and stuff like that. Basically, he's funneling money into his pockets through the Patreon subscription, and he's probably giving basic information to people in regards to how to get their YouTube monetized and things of that nature. And I was essentially saying you could keep that money in your pocket, reinvest it into yourself, into your business, and do the research yourself, because this stuff is not difficult to do. If you have a computer and you can download a few software programs, get a camera and a mic, and you're essentially all set. That's all the information he can give you. Or maybe some a few details in regards to getting monetized and how to manage the YouTube. Outside of that, you're gonna be doing everything yourself. He is managing Micca. Micca pays him. He pays Micca to be on a couple of panels. So she gets paid a certain amount a month to appear on these panels, and he also manages her. Okay. Where have we seen Micca outside of this, outside of Anton's panels? I've seen Micca try to do her own version of the Pop the Balloon show. When the Pop the Balloon show was first getting hot, I seen her do that a couple times. I don't know what came of that or where it went, but that's the only other place that I've seen Micca outside of Anton Daniels' panels, and a couple interviews ever since the 5150 show altercation. Like Oshay said, Lapeef and Anton, they have these panels, dealings with the ladies. I've never heard those rumors. I mean, I just watch the panel sometimes, so I've never heard those rumors, but I wouldn't put it past neither of them. You know what I'm saying? This is what humans do. This is what people do when you have a little bit of power and you have subordinates as women and they want to get ahead. And they have a certain level of respect or admiration for you for whatever reason. They're willing to do certain things and stay in pocket, if you will. But yeah, let's get back to the video, man.
Are letting us believe that's the case. Why didn't you develop Micca into a conservative content creator?
Because he can't develop you. He can't develop anybody. The only person that he could make real money on YouTube is himself and his panelists by giving them a weekly or monthly check. And he's not even developing them. He just has them show up and he pays them. And they all kind of play off Anton's antics on these panels. So he's not developing anybody. Everybody comes prepackaged with their own personality. Everybody that's there has not developed based on Anton. Everybody there already is their own person, is their own personality, and they just continue to show up so they can get their pay. But Anton is not developing anyone. Micca, her show, she has her own YouTube channel where she does content and things of that nature. I've never been to her YouTube channel. I've been seeing Micca on these panels for maybe a year or two. Anton's panels in particularly, I don't really watch them often, but I've seen Micca before, like numerous times for for a while now, a couple years, and I've never been enticed to go to her individual YouTube channel to see what she does over there. I didn't even know she did conservative content. But she does have an attractive appearance. She is an attractive woman. So I don't see what's holding her back necessarily in regards to the YouTube platform, or why she hasn't really gotten the numbers as of yet. But maybe the content just isn't that good. And maybe she's just a pretty face. Maybe she's just better for the panels, better for adding eye candy to these panels. I don't know. But Anton's not developing her, because I've seen her on Anton panels for at least like a year or two. And she's still the same Micca. Anton can't teach people how to be shock jocks and say provocative commentary like yourself. Everybody's not willing to do that.
Wait, stop the show. Anton Daniels don't develop people like that for real.
Woo!
He doesn't. In fact, nobody could take Anton Daniels' method on YouTube and it would work. It would only work if you were extremely controversial, if you had an offline presence, if you went around to everybody's podcast and just said ridiculous things and blow yourself up, then it would work, okay? Anton Daniels can't really coach this business like that. He makes a lot of money, but that doesn't mean he can coach, especially somebody like Micca, who is not controversial, somebody like Micca who is not trying to piss people off or insult people. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Oshay Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of this.
And that's a fact. Like I said, he doesn't coach people, produce people, things of that nature. He basically, you join the Patreon and it's basically a big networking network. He may give you some advice, in regards to the YouTube platform, but he can't develop you. He's not coaching you to become a better personality. Whatever your personality is what it is, and you will be taught how to set up a YouTube account and how to make videos. Everything else is on you. But like you said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Hit that hype button so I can pop up in that algorithm. And let's go through a couple comments. No self-respecting husband would be okay with seeing his wife in another man's hotel room at all. Like that would make me sick to my stomach, bro. Like I would shit on myself. Like I would be so disgusted with my girl if I'd ever seen like that. Like seeing what I just saw Micca doing, like that's not something that a wife should be doing. I'ma say it. I think they fucked too. Micca's husband must be like Travis Hunter, very understanding, sitting outside in the car. Man, shout out Travis Hunter. You're an excellent athlete, but my boy, your mindset when it comes to women is very skewed. Money will never unlame a lame. It won't, but it will pay for a lot of things in this world. There's an old saying, the only thing that open at 2 a.m. are gas stations, Walgreens, and legs. And that is a fact. If it was 3 a.m., based on the time difference from the East Coast and the West Coast, I don't really know. But 3 a.m. is ridiculous. That's cause for divorce, I'm not gonna lie. But again, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe so I don't have to keep skipping ads for you guys. Hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video, and hit that hype button so I pop up in the algorithm. And until next time, peace.